In this video, I'm going to tell you how to be miserable and how to stay miserable. And I'm going to share with you the things that I've observed in people who are very happy, successful, and productive, and people who are just miserable. If you're here for the first time, my name is Ali. I'm a PhD student in electrical engineering, and I've gotten a ton of industry experience, including doing 2 internships at NASA. And I've spent a lot of time around people who are very miserable and people who are not miserable. And I can tell you that it comes down to one thing, one difference. And that thing is an indicator. It's something I can tell when I talk to people. If I come and I talk to you right now, and we just have a very simple conversation for a brief period of time, I can very quickly tell if you're miserable or if you're happy. Because very often the words we use and the conversations we have basically show our beliefs to the world and to other people. And it really all comes down to one phrase, actually one word that is very, very dangerous. And that word is should. The reason this word is so dangerous is because the moment you say something should, you're basically implying that you're dissatisfied with the universe in a way that makes you not open to negotiations. And the moment you say something like that, you immediately give up your power and your ownership of the situation, and you're unable to really take control. And the people who are dissatisfied with things on a long-term basis, like in even day-to-day basis, very often say things like, oh, it shouldn't be this way, things shouldn't be like that, this shouldn't be that hard, this shouldn't require a lot of work. And the contrast is that, is people who are very happy and satisfied and productive, they never say something like that. They always say what is and what isn't. They don't ask if it should or shouldn't. They ask, is it or is it not? And they observe the reality of the situation. Because as soon as you make an observation and then you come to terms with the reality of the situation, and you don't say it should be, you say this is what it is, then you're basically giving yourself total power and control and ownership of the situation, and then you can do whatever you want from there on. And that can actually be the single most empowering thing to experience as a human. And I'll give you a very simple example. And I'll use one of my favorite examples, which is productivity. And I post here and there videos about how to be productive and how to stay focused and be efficient. And I talk about things like cutting out social media, things of that nature. And every once in a while, someone leaves a comment where it's like, oh, that's like so toxic. You shouldn't do that. That's like, society should not value people by how productive they are. And society should not reward people for like increasing their output. And sure, in a very idealistic unicorn world, we should be able to just do whatever we want and just get paid to exist and do all these things. But that is not the reality of the current world we live in. Society will reward those who increase their output. Society will reward people who produce more. And a very simple example is this YouTube channel. Is when I was in engineering school, I would always think engineering schools should teach people how to like take care of their mindset and make decisions and whatnot. And engineering schools really should step up their game and like teach people better and be more efficient. And that was really not a productive thing to say or do at all. Instead, the more productive thing, which is me saying, okay, this is how engineering schools are going to do it. This is the reality of the situation. What can I do about it right now? Okay, let me go start an engineering YouTube channel and teach people how to like solve problems and teach them about the engineering curriculum and whatnot. So by observing the reality of the situation and accepting the situation for what it is, I gave myself power to go do something about it. And again, look at the reality of the situation. I am being rewarded. I get people who like the videos, who leave comments, who interact, who say things like, wow, these videos are helping a lot. And then that makes me feel good about myself because I'm like, wow, I'm actually helping people out there. I'm making the world a better place. And again, because I am looking at the reality of the situation, I'm not looking at how things should and should not be. I'm just looking at what things are and what I can do to improve the current situation. And this is the most empowering framework to live life by, is to always observe things as they are and just take ownership. One very simple common one as well that I used to struggle with is like, let's say you help someone, you have a friend or you have a partner or whatever, and you do something for them and they do not return the favor, or like they don't do something for you in return. Very often we fall into the trap of saying, they should have like helped me because I helped them, or they should have been there for me because I was there for them. And you're totally right, they totally should have, but they didn't. And guess what? Now you're more miserable because you're like angry about the fact that they didn't. And what I found to be way happier, more productive way of looking at it is to say, okay, they were not there for me when I needed them. This is the reality of the situation. Maybe they were going through something. What can I do about it? Okay, I gotta make myself feel better. Let me go for a walk. Let me go hit up someone else. Let me go talk to a friend. Let me go out for dinner. And within seconds, you go from being miserable to being happy. Why? Because happiness is all about empowerment. It's about like doing things that I can control and things that make sense to me and that I can add to my life. And again, it really all comes down to the words you use in the conversation. So next time you catch yourself saying something like, oh, things should be this way, ask yourself, like, why are they the way they are? And what can I do to increase the odds of changing that situation? And if you do that day after day and you build the habit of thinking that way, I guarantee you're going to be a lot happier. You're going to have a lot more peace of mind, and the quality of your life is just going to increase. Now, I did make a video about my productivity system and what I do to take control of my life and just be as efficient as possible. And if you haven't already, I highly recommend you watch it. You're going to gain tons of value. I'll see you there. Peace, love.